But phenoflexy and flexes.
Wait, real quick, do you cut these down and stuff and like trim them and everything, or do you just do one all at once? Because I need to know so if I can ramble or if I can cut it.
What do you want me to do?
I don't mind. Sure. See.
Hey guys, it's Eric Kosa here, and I am back with another video. And today I am joined with the gracious, the intelligent, the awesome, the amazing Maeza. Say hello to the people.
Hi.
Maeza is an incredible friend of mine. Check my hand, let them know. It's friendship, it's all love. She's famous on TikTok. How many followers do you have?
43,000.
40 what?
43,000.
40 what?
43,000.
But 43,000 followers, and she was on RT. She was interviewed on RT. Tell them why you were interviewed.
I made a game, and I was recently interviewed about it, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, which is incredible. She's awesome. She's a celebrity, and she's on my video. Anyway, in this video, we're going to talk to you about, as the title implies, growing up mixed race. Maeza, of course, is a mixed race female. She's very proud of that. Mm-hmm. She embraces that, but it wasn't always that way. So do you want to tell the people what it was like growing up in America as a mixed race female, especially in your case personally?
Well, I grew up in a few different places when I was younger. I was in Massachusetts, then I moved to Savannah, Georgia. That's where I was mostly grown up, so in the South. I lived in California very shortly, but I'd say my childhood was in Georgia, really. Yeah, so that was kind of the South. But like
the South.
Yeah.
The deep South.
And I mean, when people hear the South, they're like, ooh. But like, there is good sides to it. But from my experience growing up mixed race, it was always kind of that thing where you always felt different from everyone else, because I think like in the South, there's like, it's kind of like in my school, at least, there was white kids and there was black kids and there were Asian kids. And I was that one kid that was not in any of those. So I always I had these moments, and I remember them really clearly, like of just not feeling like I belonged with anyone. And I would be told, like, I would always feel like inside, I wouldn't be told it directly, but by little kind of implications, I always felt like I was too white for the black kids and too black for the white kids. So it was that kind of thing where I just always felt like I had to I could only pick one. And I was like, okay, am I going to be white or am I going to be black? And it was that kind of thing where I never was told what I was or where I should go.
I understand. Yeah. And in terms of your life personally, because of course that's it's dramatic, hearing about it. When we speak about it now, it's almost like you retrospectively looking back. But when you're younger, it's massive. It's a lot of things to deal with. Yeah. Identity is very important. So in terms of your personal life, if you don't mind the people knowing, what was it like? What influences did you have? Was there anything in your life that swayed you towards the black side or towards the white side? Or
I think growing up, it was kind of, I mean, I never really had like many influences aside from my dad and my mom and my friends. And since I'd kind of already established myself with white friends. I'd grown up with white friends because my mom I lived with her a good bit. So we kind of mostly hung out with white kids. So I guess at one point I kind of just thought of myself as like white, and I only really hung out with the white kids. I had some black friends, of course, but it was always kind of like this feeling in me that I was like, I just don't feel the same, or that I'm on the same level as them. I don't know if you could consider that like internalized racism towards myself, but like I just always felt uncomfortable, and I mean I had influences like from friends where they were black and stuff, and like my white friends, but I always felt so awkward, and I always felt like I never could identify with one thing. It was really weird.
And it was like self-hatred.
Almost, yeah. Like I almost at one stage I like hated myself, and I remember like very briefly, like when I was a kid, I would always beg my dad. I was like, "Can you straighten my hair? Can you straighten my hair? Can you always straighten my hair?" Like I hated my curly hair for the longest time, and I actually at one stage was gonna get a perm, and I'm so glad my dad didn't let me like straighten it forever, because it would have killed my hair. But like I just remember I hated like that side of myself, and I hated being darker, and I hated being seen as like. I just wanted to be one thing, which is so toxic, but like I did just want to be one thing. I hated being like these two things that weren't quite one. It was very weird.
No, that really touches my heart when you say that, because identity is so important. People struggle with their identity all the way into their adulthood, and the fact that you were so young and had to deal with so much and you overcame it is incredible. So shake my hand again. But you mentioned something interesting there. It's almost like there's two metaphorical boxes, and you can either be in one box and you can never stand in the middle. So you almost, because of your experiences, your friends, maybe your family, you felt like you needed to be in the white box.
Yeah.
With race, I'm going to just say this, with race, there's so many other things that come with race. There's culture, there's heritage, there's history. When it came to the black side, let's say first, were you revealed to that culture and heritage, or because you were so self-hating, did you prevent yourself from embracing your black side?
I don't even know. Like, it's kind of hard to remember, like, a moment that I felt really in touch with that side when I was a kid. But I think there were just small things, like, my dad would always make us chicken and, like, cultural dishes and stuff from Barbados. And I would just always be like, oh, this is my normal meals. But, like, there were little things that kept me in touch with my culture. Like, my dad's cooking, I think, was a really big thing because, like, he would always make, like, rotis and, like, doubles and stuff all the time. They were my favorite treats. And I realized I came to school and I was like, oh, have you guys had this? And everyone was like, no, what is that? All my white friends were like, what is that? And I'm like, you don't have this? I'm like, what? So there was always like, there were little things that kept me in touch, but I think it was only until I was older that I actually was like, wait a minute, I should get in touch with this side of me. And like, funny enough, like I was saying to you earlier, it wasn't until like this year that I actually think I found my place in a group of people that were like from my other side, because I just never felt comfortable enough doing that, which is sad. And it's literally not at anyone, like it's not anyone's fault but my own.
I understand.
Because it's my own kind of issue that I had.
I understand. I definitely think that it takes a very strong, bold and brave woman to be able to say, hey, I need to be responsible for my actions and the way I thought. But in saying that, you were so young and had to deal with so much. And I definitely think society is shaped in a way to make us believe that there are these racial boxes that people need to be in. And if you're not in one box, you're in a different box. And in America, because there's such a strong race relation based history there in America, it's almost like I can imagine now in my head from us speaking earlier, many African Americans might be, hey, you know, like, hey, she's light skin, or she's on that side. She's not a part of us. She doesn't understand what the struggle is like. She doesn't have to face what we face, but that's not true at all, because you had to face many of your own challenges. And so can you just touch on, let's say you were with your white friends, was there any racism there from your white friends?
When I was in the South, I experienced a bit of racism that I only identified was racism when I was older. I was told constantly by like my white friends, they would be like, they'd actually put my nose up and they'd go, you have a black pig nose. They would say that to me, and they called me piggy and porky and stuff because of my nose. And that's why I kind of ended up hating like those features in myself, which I love now. I could not care, like, do you know what I'm saying? But like when I was a kid, I was constantly made fun of like for having this feature on my face, and that's why I kind of grew up being insecure about my nose. But I know for a fact my little sister, and she still gets this now, she still gets told that her hair looks like a bush, that she like, because my sister is very pale, but she is still mixed race, but she's told that her black features are something not to be proud of. And I'm always telling her, I'm like, your natural hair is gorgeous, like don't worry about it. But there's so much kind of hatred that comes from people towards these features when they can't align them properly with like a skin tone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of there. They're like, oh, that's weird. Because you do look different when you're mixed race, and it's you know it's really sad.
It is really sad, without a doubt. And that's, you touch on so many interesting things there. You can make videos on each sub-topic that you touch on in that statement. But okay, so that's from the white side. There was definitely discrimination to your black features as someone who's half caste or a light skin from the white side. But talk about the black side. Was there ever any discrimination from that side?
The funny thing is no. Like I never really had that. Like I mean, I think I always had this idea that it was there, that I was always like being judged by people, but like I think it was just fear inside of myself of kind of being around other people, because I mean obviously like here especially, like there's so many people coming from different countries and stuff. Nobody cares. But I grew up in white schools. I grew up like with white friends. Like there was 2 black kids in my entire secondary school. Like, well, actually not even secondary. It was like the primary, the middle, and the high school. 2 black kids in the entire school.
Altogether.
And I was considered like one of the darkest kids in the school, because I was like, do you know what I'm saying? That's how white the school was. But like it was, I never actually like experienced anything from them. I think it was just me being internally scared. And then like when I started being friends, I think Wakila was like someone who actually really helped me a lot.
Wakila is a friend of ours.
Wakila is amazing. She actually really helped me with coming to terms with, hey, you're actually part of this. And she introduced me to all of you. And I was like, wait a minute, like I was like, this actually isn't as scary as I thought it was.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear that. It honestly touches my heart. It warms my heart. Because you, as I said previously, you overcame so much, and there's so many people going through identity crisis. And I think we touch on different identity crises that exist when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to gender. I think there's supports out there. There's not enough, but there are supports out there to help people with those type of troubles in regards to identity. But when it comes to your race, it's very difficult, and not many people touch on it. You know. So, anyways, my next question is on. You know, if you had to give Maeza advice, Maeza a few years ago, Maeza when she was in when she was bearing the brunt of the identity crisis, if you had to give her advice, what would you say to her now?
I think I'd say like it's just not that scary to embrace your culture. Like it's such a beautiful culture, like Caribbean culture. It's amazing. Like one of my biggest dreams, and my dad, I've told him, I'm like, I want you one day to see me in a crop over costume. They cost like €1,000, but one day I want to get one. And I will. But I think I just say to myself, like, just take a minute to just look at it, because it's so unique and it's like amazing, you know. And like I never would have thought I'd go to Barbados, and I went this previous summer, and it's just crazy how different it is, but amazing it is, you know.
That's incredible. It's really interesting. And that's just incredible. I'm just so baffled by the story every time you tell me. But in terms of now, how do you feel?
I feel like I'm very at peace with myself now. I feel like I kind of have accepted that I'm always going to be 2 things, and that's okay with me. but there's no reason to kind of lean more to one side or the other side. You know, like I'm happy with being in two different groups. I'm happy with like being in these boxes, but they're more like open to each other now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're not very closed off anymore. Like I feel very fluid with myself, and I'm happy with that. So and I love my hair and I love my features. So it doesn't
amazing.
matter.
You should. You're nice.
Thank you.
But you gave the young Maeza some advice. Now, if there's anyone here watching that isn't the young Maeza, obviously no one is the young Maeza. Do you have anything to say to them if they're going through that struggle? Of course, it's easy to give yourself advice because you know exactly the intricate details that you were going through. But if there's anyone else out there that is going through this identity crisis because of the fact that they're mixed race, do you have anything to say to them?
I think I'd say like just learn to love yourself, because at the end of the day, like the only person you're meeting is yourself. Like you're gonna go home, you're always gonna see yourself. And if it makes you uncomfortable about race, like just try to educate yourself about that side, because there's nothing wrong with not knowing about your own race. Like I like some people are like, you should know all about your own race. I didn't know until recently. I think just educate yourself and just learn to love yourself, because I'm telling you, so many people keep telling me, they're like, I wish I had this hair. Like when I'm out in clubs, they're always like, I wish my hair was naturally this curly. People want to look like you. It's okay. It's okay. But like I just think educate and love yourself is the most important thing. So.
This is so wholesome. My heart is just
I know.
Maeza, every time, we're definitely going to have you back with another video, because this was very impactful, very informational, but most importantly, very inspirational, because Maeza is a very inspiring female woman. Anyways, thank you again. This is our third handshake. That's how special she is being on this video. Guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share it around to your friends, subscribe. I definitely think many people need to see conversations like these with inspiring figureheads like Maeza speaking about their experience when it comes to their race, because again, this is a very underemphasized topic, so we're emphasizing it as much as we can in this video. Do you want to tell them your TikTok name as well?
Baby May. It's BAYBEE May.
Promotion as well.
Yes, of course. I have to put my name out there.
I'm so good. I'm too good to her. But anyways, see you later, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Oh, if that didn't save.
No, it just.
Okay. Oh my god, I was on screen.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.